Okay, there it goes. So, welcome. It is December 19th to 20th, so Michelle's even closer than us to Christmas. Only five more sleeps for you, right? Um, and I told you I was going to give you a little talk today on perfectionism because this is what's been coming up for me in my life and practice. Although I didn't really recognize it as perfectionism as such, I thought it was anxiety. If you had asked me, I would have said, okay, well, I'm experiencing anxiety. I'm experiencing a lot of sleeplessness as well. And I could blame it on a lot of things that are going on. But in the context of this somatic meditation, I got curious about it. I think those of us that have been doing this for a while, so I've been doing it since the summer now, I started to realize that the tension or the energy that I've been experiencing, physically, mentally, emotionally, that I was really rejecting it. And then I had been starting to brace against it. And that was like a little bit of a warning bell to me. And I wanted to address it with all of you as well. Because I think when we engage in these kinds of practices, whether it be this somatic meditation or yoga in general, any kind of meditation, there can be this kind of expectation that, well, I'm doing this now, so my life is going to unfold perfectly from now on. So there won't be any more anxiety. I've done this meditation and I have this experience of relaxation now, or I'm in a better place now, so I won't have any more health issues, or I'm in a better place now, I'll get along with everybody now, or I won't have any more insomnia, I won't have any more health issues. So whatever the sort of expectation is, it's unrealistic, and it creates its own layer of suffering for us. So for me, the anxiety or whatever this energy is in me, because this is something so for me it's been quite curious, because as the kind of the experience of pain in my body starts to lessen, there's this energy that starts to come up, and I'm it's just, we have these labels and stories for them, but anyway, and it's energy that feels really uncomfortable. It's coming in and it's setting up shop and it's making home, but there was a real underlying harshness for me around it, and a judgment towards myself for having it, because I didn't want it, but I wanted the feeling of relaxation that I get from doing the meditation, or that I have at the end of the meditation, and I wanted to be in that state all the time. So what was happening was, unlike when we do the somatic meditation, when we bring our attention to that tension that we might be feeling in the big toe, we have the awareness of the tension, and then there's that transformation. When I would feel the energy or anxiety, I wouldn't get curious about it. I wouldn't turn towards it. I would turn away from it with this layer of judgment, like, this shouldn't be happening. This is unacceptable. So we know from our inner critic series that our inner critic can show up in the form of the perfectionist. And we have a certain idea of how we should be, how we should hold ourselves, a certain standard for our lives. And I had gotten in my head that I should always be calm from now on, and I should be tension-free at all times. So this was the latest version of perfectionism that had set up shop in my body. And unfortunately, this is just aggression. And we all go through this because we're human beings with egos, and we will have these kind of intellectual, social, spiritual, meditative, mental, emotional, energetic standards that we hold ourselves to. And they are acts of aggression, and they are violence towards ourselves. So my expectation to remain anxiety-free always and forever is an act of aggression and violence towards myself. And this week, I came to a point of realizing that this standard of being anxiety free was a problem. It was a form of aggression. It was a form of self-hatred. When we are being perfectionistic with ourselves, we're hating ourselves. And, you know, all of us are going to have our own kind of flavor of this, of what standard we're holding ourselves to. So you can fill in the blank for yourself. So by asking myself to be anxiety free, I was trying to pin myself down in a rigid way. So you can reflect on how this relates to you in your life, the way you try to pin yourself down in a rigid way. So instead of being open to what was alive in me, which was the energy of anxiety, and being open to what was present, the sensations that was arising, I was really like fighting against it. And as soon as I kind of took that step back and opened myself up to the anxiety, that was when things started to shift. It didn't shift quickly. It's like maybe over the process of a few days, things started to shift. But, and it still hasn't completely shifted, but there's this space now. And I think that it's only in allowing and making room for our own experience, this is the only way. We have to recognize that we're not fixed entities. We're not objects. We're continually shifting and changing. Sometimes we're going to experience deep relaxation and groundedness, and sometimes we're going to experience anxiety. Sometimes we're going to experience frustration. Sometimes we're going to experience anger. Sometimes we're going to experience hostility. Sometimes we're going to have an argument with the people that we love the most in our world, that because we care. You know, we can't expect ourselves to be one way all the time. And the minute we have this kind of fixed idea about ourselves, then everything that doesn't fit into this kind of fixed idea, this box, gets rejected. And this is the work of ego. And this is the layering of tension onto our bodies. And what happens when most of what ends up happening is that a lot of what happens in our life doesn't fit into this fixed idea. And then we start fighting against ourselves more and more and more. And then there's more aggression, there's more self-hatred, there's more judgment, there's more harshness, right? Because, okay, I'm supposed to be this anxiety-free person, but I have, I live in a world, I have a teenage daughter, you know, she doesn't behave perfectly towards me all the time. And so, so see how things don't fit in my box all the time and more things keep getting rejected? It's like ridiculous. So this part being the strategy of aggression, of saying no, because I didn't have room for my concept of anxiety. If I had just let room in for this concept of anxiety, then I don't have to keep saying no to more and more and more things. Yet when I allow and make room in my experience for whatever shows up without judgment, then anxiety and stress and tension, having a bad day, not getting along with the people I love the most can be present. And it doesn't have to be a problem. It can just be part of the dynamic of me being a fluid human being. And I don't need to try and judge and control it so much. I don't need to try and be perfect. So I think that Reggie Ray says it really well. He says, when we realize we do not know what we are, and we will never be able to hold on to what we are in our thinking mind, that we'll never be able to label it and put a stop to it. When we realize who we fundamentally are as a profound and unsolvable mystery, that's the teaching of non-self. Then we have no basis for rejecting anything. The only way we can reject parts of ourselves is if we're trying to push some kind of personal identity onto ourselves. So there's no basis for rejecting anxiety. There's no basis for judging anxiety, or there's no basis for judging whatever the fill in the blank is for you. So we make room we allow for what comes up. This is the journey. And as I say, I feel like I say this every week, this is the lifelong journey. Unpleasant things will come up. We'll want to judge ourselves for it. We'll want to hate ourselves for it, because it doesn't fit into our identity as somebody who does meditation, who does yoga. But when we make room for it, when we allow the experience, we can start to trust that mysterious unfolding of our life. We have to allow all the things that are happening to us that don't fit into what we're thinking, we're hoping, or wanting. Otherwise, we're just adding on to those layers of suffering, creating more tension. It's that second arrow. So that's what I wanted to. Oh, I can see you now, Annette. It was a power issue.
It was. I had to click on something. I figured it out while you were talking.
So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight, this morning. And I open it up for you, any of you to respond or ask questions about, and then we can go ahead and introduce and speak about what you want to receive tonight as well, this morning.
This is a good one for me for this time of year. Christmas, just like pile things on and want to do everything perfectly and just hold myself to such that high standard like you were talking about. It's very true. I don't know if it's a type A thing or a woman thing, a mother thing, but it's just, it can be a lot. It can be a real lot. And so I can relate to that. Sometimes I just don't know how to stop it.
I know. And I know I hear you on the not knowing how to stop it, because when you're in it, it's like so strong, right?
Yeah, it's just a way of life sometimes. Just wanting to do everything and take care of everybody. Really good intentions, really.
Yeah.
You know, but, or I can be very all or nothing. If I can't do it all perfectly, I won't try it all.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm curious, so like the example I used, there was something really showing up in my body that was like a little bell for me, you know, not a little bell, it was a big bell. And I'm curious, like when like, because you could really relate to the perfectionism. I'm curious when the perfectionism kind of gets going for you, if anything kind of shows up in your body.
I think I've been noticing tension around my mouth, my neck, sort of this area.
Mm-hmm.
It's a way that I hold my mouth almost, or my jaw.
Okay.
And I'll have tension in the jaw. Or if I'm chewing gum, I'll chew it really hard. And I'll just notice this tension in my neck and jaw. That's what it is for me.
Yeah. So like, I'm wondering if, so for me with the anxiety, there's that judgment around having the emotion like, I'm a yoga teacher and I shouldn't be anxious, right? That's the standard. Or, you know, I'm doing this meditation and I shouldn't be having this energy in my body. You know, like I honestly don't even know if it's anxiety. It's just like this huge amount of energy in and around second and third chakra and fourth chakra a little bit. Like, so for you, there's this going on here. So when I go into the sensation and drop all that story, then it becomes the same as go into the tension in the big toe.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
So that can be, it's almost like, okay, you know how they suggest using like, you know, the phone rings and then that's your reminder to stop and be more mindful. When you notice this getting really intense, then you can drop into this. It's a way of coming back.
Right. Just allow myself to notice it.
Notice it.
Notice it. Breathe
Go into it.
Yeah.
Just like you would if you were doing this actual somatic meditation.
Right. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed if my perfectionist shows up that I feel it in the solar plexus. So what I've been doing, because it's been showing up in the last few days, although it's backed off a bit, what I've been doing is the diaphragmatic breathing class.
Yeah.
To really go because that's where I'm feeling it, there, and I sort of thought, well, might as well do something to go into it, and it works to really even out the energy, and the critic pipes down, and it's a way of managing it. So previously, I guess I would just sort of either go along with the inner critic or try and pretend it's not happening.
Yeah.
But now I've sort of just gone, no, well, I can do something constructive, feel it, and see what happens. And it shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make everything all peachy all the time, but it's the way of managing.
Not being afraid of it, right? That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because when it's happening, it's almost like there's this fear of it, right?
Right.
And the turning towards it more is almost like it's going to amplify it more. But I think what I've noticed is that in stopping and turning towards it, it's like we know from that inner critic series, right? It just does want some attention.
It makes it smaller somehow.
Yeah. And then the very thing that we're kind of trying to ignore or turn away from or fight against or is transformed, just like going into the tension in the big toe, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm with Annette a lot. Usually, and I've said this before, around this time of year, my anxiety starts piling up and my inner critic starts coming out. I still don't have my tree up. And I still don't really care this year. It may not get up, and I'm still okay with it, and I'm kind of surprised. Where it's starting to show for me, the perfectionism, and I am that anxious new yoga teacher. The anxiety has kept me stuck in fear for so long. And I don't care to say I'm anxious. But I find myself, and I didn't realize I did this until really, really recently, kind of subconsciously comparing myself to the other students that I went to teacher training with. Every one of us are different. Every one of us had our own experiences in class. And I'm not making as big of a push to be working inside a yoga studio as some of the other, for some reason, and it's just like, should I be caring more? So in a way, it's just kind of like, okay, I don't have as many students. The students that I have really want to be learning on a deeper level. So it's kind of like, the numbers matter, or does quality matter?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, that's where the perfectionism, I should be further along, or it's just like, really? And I hear Trinity saying, Nikki, keep your eyes on your own yoga mat. You can tell her that I still say this to myself. But it's very true, and I have to remember that. But it's just kind of like, on the me level, some of the perfectionist tendencies are starting to fade away. But on the new
Professional,
the professional Nikki trying to make a name for herself, that's where, so it's kind of like somewhere in between the two, there's got to be some kind of a balance.
right. So it'd be interesting to think about turning towards that too. Yeah. Like, what would it be like to turn towards that? Where do you feel that in your body? To have compassion for that part of yourself too.
Yeah, I think it's just like a transition, it's a transition period, and it's the not knowing what's going to happen next. And then a little bit of, I don't have a whole lot of it. And maybe it's just, I don't know what to expect, and I don't know I can't plan. I'm a planner. So if I don't know really what to expect, I don't know how to plan. And I think that right there might be it. I don't know.
I think
can't
that,
plan
yeah.
but I don't know what.
I think that is the big thing for all of us, actually. You've just summed it up, right? Is that our egos want to have control of outcome. And that's just not possible. And that is exactly what Reggie Ray is saying, is that we have to open ourselves to the mysterious unfolding of our lives and allow for the possibilities of what can come in. And he talks about this a lot in his talks. I don't know if any of you have listened to his talks, but he talks about how, we kind of have this kind of little version of what our life could possibly be. But when we let go of that and open up to the potential of it, so much more is available to us, right? Like, I think even about, Michelle took a big leap this year coming on board and leading up the Moonstruck section. And I know that was a big, deal for you. It was an edge for you, but, and this year was quite a big unfolding for you. But if you'd kept kind of controlling your life the way it was, you would have got this outcome. But when you took that leap of faith and opened out, it wasn't just that you volunteered to be a leader here. It was that things like really opened up for you in a way that you never expected to. Yeah, that's just one example I'm giving. I mean, sometimes we can have to say goodbye to relationship, right? That we feel like we have to hang on to. Friendship, partnership. Otherwise, when we think that it's the only thing we can possibly have, and yet if we let it go, other relationships, friendship, partnerships can come in that can be so much more nurturing, that if we'd held on to it, wouldn't have even been a possibility for us, right? So I think in letting go of control of our lives, there's just so much more potential. It's frightening, but
it's frightening.
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely summed that up well, Nicole. But I think also at the same time, we need to care for our small self, right? Not continually turn away from it and intellectualize it too, right? As much as we know everything is okay and we can intellectualize it till the cows come home, we have to care for that small self that is frightened and turn towards it in practice. And there may be times when we need to turn towards ourselves and practice more, and care for ourselves and practice more. I love all those nodding heads to that. That's like a teacher's dream. I need to just take that little snippet and play it on repeat. Even if in just my own mind. Okay, with that, it's not going to get any better than that. So I think we should practice now. Why don't we go ahead and lie down on your backs? You can bend your knees and place your feet flat on the floor. And you can have your knees touching each other. Play around with the position between your feet and your pelvis so that your pelvis and your low back are comfortable. Make sure your head and neck are comfortable. You can place your hands on your belly to gather your attention there, your awareness there. And feel the support of the earth underneath you. Start to feel your body sinking down into the earth. As you feel yourself supported by the earth, the more fully you'll be able to relax. If you can do anything to be more comfortable, then go ahead and do that now. You want your body to be completely relaxed. And just notice as you lie down in this way that your body already knows what to do, that your body is already responding, that you have all created the relationship with your body here, and that your body is beginning to relax just by taking this position now. You can feel your body starting to let go, to release tension. You might start to notice muscles unwinding, bones, tissues, tendons, all in various places. And as you drop your awareness into your body, you can start to feel this dynamic process of relaxation happening just by taking this position in your body. So you're bringing awareness to the points of contact between you and the ground, your 2 feet, the 2 sides of your buttocks, your mid-back, your elbows, your shoulder blades, and your head. And through our practice, you're going to uncover tension in your body. It's not that the tension isn't there, it's just that you are uncovering the tension. And by bringing awareness to it, it begins to transform, let go, and release downward into the earth. And you're also developing a sense of depth and grounding in relation to the earth underneath you. So tension maintains itself when you're not aware of it, when it's unconscious, when you're turning away from it, when you're intellectualizing it. But as soon as you open to it, as you welcome it, as you allow it, then it can begin to transform, and you can start to develop the capacity to let go of that tension. When you allow the tension, when you open to the tension, it begins to transform, it begins to let go. It might not disappear all at once, but it will begin to melt and let go into the earth. So begin with your big toe in both feet. And start to feel the sensations in your big toe. Feel the underside of your big toe, the bone, the muscles, the tip of your big toe. And then feel that tension begin to dissolve like sand moving through an hourglass down into the earth. Moving into your second toe. Feeling the tension, feeling the tightness. Maybe where your second toe connects to your foot. Maybe the tip of your second toe, allowing this tension to come forward. Allowing opening to the tension. And as you do, you'll start to know that tension begins to dissolve, release, and let go into the earth. Then there may be other parts of your feet that start to release and let go, melt, or other parts of your body, and you can open to that and allow that to happen as well. Moving to your third toes on both feet. Feeling the tightness, feeling the tension, knowing that you don't have to hold on anymore. And that includes holding yourself to such high standards of perfectionism right down to your toes. It's okay to take the pressure off. And just feel how good that feels to let go into the earth. Feeling your fourth toes. And knowing that it's okay if feeling into your toes isn't happening right at once. That over time you will be able to feel into your toes. The tension will begin to release slowly, maybe not all at once. And then come into your baby toe. Feel the sensations in your baby toe. There's a bit of shrinking and pulling back, tightness in the baby toenail. And when you let go, you're letting go of holding on in your body, holding on to these perfectionistic tendencies. So in letting go in your body, you're letting go of perfectionism, you're letting go of the tension, you're letting go of holding yourself to these high standards, you're melting and opening. So now all 5 toes are relaxing, releasing, lengthening, breathing into all 5 toes, allowing any remaining tension to come forward. And then feeling the bands of tension along the outside edges of your feet. Allow those to be heightened. And then feel that releasing down into the earth, melting, dissolving. Coming into the arch of your foot. Feeling the tension at the middle of the arch, the inside and the outside of the arch. And give yourself time. It doesn't have to happen all at once. The tension may want to come forward very strongly for a while. You don't have to rush into the letting go. The more you allow that tension to come forward, the more it will dissolve and transform in its own time. And then you will feel that tension dissolving down into the earth. Come into your heel. Feel the tightness in the fleshy part of your heel, but also in the bone. And then feel that melting, dissolving, relaxing, and letting go. The energy is traveling down. It's like a continual current of energy down into the earth. When you let go of tension in your feet, you might notice that the rest of your body is starting to respond as well. So if you find you're starting to release in your lower back and your shoulders and your hips and your mid-back, just feel that invitation in your body. Feel the wisdom of your body releasing and accept it and let it go. Now come into your ankles. Feel the tension in your ankles, the ankle bones, the interior of your ankle. Allow that downward current of energy, of tension to be involved through your ankles. And then come to your shin bones, feeling the tightness through your shin bones. and the muscles on either side of your shin bones. Allowing that to slide down through your lower legs and release down into the earth. It's as if you're letting go, abandoning, releasing, and relinquishing your grip on your body. Now your calf muscle at the back, feel the tightness, feel the density, and just feel how exhausting the maintenance of tension is. It's so exhausting to have to hold on, to hold yourself to these standards. And now you're invited to let go of perfectionism, and given permission to release. And you can do this at the level of your body. So you can do this through your calves, feeling the tension in your calves, the top, the middle, and the bottom of your calves. Feel that downward flow of energy, relaxing all the muscles. So now your whole lower leg is relaxing. And then you're going to bring your awareness to your buttocks on either side, connecting with the earth. And allow your buttocks to soften. Know that you don't have to grip so hard. And you can allow this connection with the earth to increase. Feel them contacting the earth. Allow yourself to shed your burden of tension down through your buttocks and into the earth. Bring your awareness to your pelvis, to the bones of your pelvis. Particularly up on the hip bones and the iliac crest. You can feel the tension there. Allow it to come forward, and then it can slide down the sides of your pelvis and into the earth. Then bring your awareness to your tailbone and feel the tension, feel the tightness, feel the holding on, and invite it to release and relax. Invite its connection to the earth to be more direct. And then feel your upper thighs. Feel the tightness, feel the holding on. Feel the density, feel the gripping. And let that begin to dissolve. Going into your inner thighs. Falling it right into your pelvic floor, your inner thighs right into the pelvic floor, allowing that area to soften. And as it softens, you may feel softening right down through your lower back. Feeling also the femur bones, the bones of your upper legs right into your hip joints. Relaxing, releasing, and letting go. So the energy is traveling down through your buttocks into your earth. And then feeling at the backs of your upper legs, the hamstring muscles. You can let go of the grip there. So your hamstrings are softening, releasing, and letting go. So now your whole lower body through your pelvis, your buttocks, your upper legs, and your lower legs, your feet are relaxing and letting go down into the earth. Bring your attention back to your pelvic floor and feel the tightness and holding on through your genitals, through your perineum. Through your anus. Feel that figure 8 of muscles and anatomy in there between your sit bones. So feel the energy, feel the tension, and allow this area to feel this tension in this area come forward, and allow it to begin to release. And then bring your attention to your mid-back, at the base of your ribs, behind your breastbone. Feel the tension around your lungs and the interior of your rib cage. Feel the tension at the front of your chest, at the ribs. And allow that tension to flow down through your mid-back, through the sides of your ribs and into the earth. You can even travel down through the rib cage into the earth. Feel all the fascia connecting the internal organs between the rib cage, between the lungs. Feel all the organs on the insides of the ribs. Feel all the tension there. And allow that tension to dissolve down through your torso, down into the earth. And then bring your awareness to your shoulder blades. Feel your shoulder blades touching the earth. Feel the tension behind your shoulder blades. Feel the tension along the backs of the shoulder blades. So you may not feel a release happening right away, but allow yourself to move your awareness in and around your upper back. Take some time, explore the tension in this area, feel the holding on, and then let it dissolve down through your shoulder blades, down into the earth beneath you. And then come up to your upper chest, your upper rib cage, your upper sternum. Feel the tightness, feel the holding on, feel the tension from the fascia here, all the way along the collarbones out to the shoulders. Allow that tension to come forward. And slowly over time, meet that tension, welcome it, allow it, and slowly over time, follow it down into the earth. And take some time with this. And then feel your elbows heavy on the ground. Become aware of tension at your shoulders, the tops of your arm bones. And you can allow that tension from the tops of your arm bones to flow down through your upper arms, down through your elbows and into the earth. Feeling your elbows sink, relax ever more deeply, And as your elbows get more heavy, your shoulders can completely let go. You can let go of the holding. You can let go of those standards. You can let go of the perfectionism. And then you can feel the tension in your fingertips, all the joints in your fingers, your palms, the backs of your hands, the base of your thumb joint, your wrists, your forearms. And then feel that energy being pulled from your fingertips down through your hands, your wrists, your lower arms, down through the elbows and into the earth. And then feel all the points you've been relaxing and letting go. Your 2 feet, your 2 buttocks, your mid back, your 2 shoulder blades, your 2 elbows. Feeling the energy flow down through all of them. Your whole body is releasing, relaxing, and letting go. And you're simply feeling into your body. You're being mindful of all the sensations in your body. And then bring your awareness to your head. Let there be space between your teeth. Allow your tongue to float in your mouth. And feel the tension in your eyebrows. Allow that tension to come forward. And feel that tension dissolve, release, and let go. Feel the tension in your cheekbones. In your temples. In your jaw. Allow that tension to come forward. Be with the tension in your jaw. Notice how it slides down right through the back of your occipital ridge and into the earth. So feel your whole head melting, dissolving, releasing, letting go. And then bring your attention back to your whole body again. You're letting go of fatigue. You're letting go of holding on. You're letting go of any burdens, any tension, any cares, any thoughts, any perfectionism, any standards that you're holding yourself to. Everything is flowing down into the earth. You can scan your body. As you breathe in, allow the tension to come forward. And as you breathe out, follow that tension down and into the earth. Feel your body. Breathe in, allow tension to come forward. And as you breathe out, follow that tension down into the earth. Feel yourself sinking into the earth, dissolving into the earth. You're continuing to scan your body, allowing tension to come forward and releasing that tension through your feet, through your buttocks, through your mid-back, your elbows, your shoulder blades, and your head. And then allow yourself to stay very much present with the sensations in your body. And when you're ready, you can make your way back up to seated. Okay, so this is the time that I open up for you to be able to speak about your practice if you wish, or to be able to ask any questions about your ongoing practice. But there is also no obligation to do so if you would like to participate by listening as well.
Well, I noticed it's difficult to turn off that perfectionism. I was laying there and I was fine, and I must have dozed off because I woke up almost panicked because I didn't know whether it was over or not, the class.
Yeah.
And and I had, my heart was pounding. I got very nervous and my heart was pounding. And I took a moment and I just breathed and I realized that I was still okay to be like, as if anything would have really been okay if the class had ended.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But
we would have been happy for you getting that deep rest.
Yes.
just so you know, in future, should you sleep through the whole thing and the talk and we say goodnight, we'd be like, wow, Annette just got the best rest. We're so happy for her.
Good to know that, maybe I'll relax better next time.
I think that may have happened to one person one time that was here because they never came back on. They laid down. There was one person that laid down and they never came back on. And I'm hoping that's what happened to them. They went into a very deep sleep and they never came back. So it's not that it's never happened before either, Annette.
Right. I suppose it would be lovely if I just, let it happen.
So that's interesting that there was that panic.
Yeah, my heart was.
Yeah. That there's that, what will other people think, right?
Right. It's that I wasn't perfectly, at the right time. And
we're all going to know you're not following along the meditation.
It's really, it's a difficult thing to turn off.
For sure.
Perfection. Yeah.
But I think in bringing awareness to it too, we can start to poke holes in it, right? Mm-hmm. Which is what you're doing. You're starting to see, like, we're all laughing about it because it's so ridiculous, right?
Exactly.
So that's the beginning of the poking holes. So maybe next time when you wake up, you think, for one, maybe you get to sleep longer next time. And then
maybe I'll just say, is it over? But wonder about it, but not have that pounding heart.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for making me feel better.
Yeah, it's really, this practice will bring you to the edge of sleep. And if sleep is what you need, then sleep is what you'll get. And that is great. We say yes if you get to sleep. This morning I had a practice where I heard a few words, blah, 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 blah. And if you'd like to continue this practice sitting up, I'm like, oh yeah, I slept through the whole thing. Wonderful. That's exactly what I needed today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've fallen asleep before and woke up to hear myself talking about the practice.
Sitting up? No.
No, when I was doing it like before bed, so I was actually doing it in bed,
Okay.
and I must have fallen asleep probably around the ankles or something.
Yeah.
And I just woke up and I'm like, that's me talking. Like, what's going on? It took like, it's like a moment there. It was funny.
Yeah.
So sleep is good in a practice.
Very good.
I think it's happened to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good. And we need our bodies are telling us, oh, you need rest. You need to sleep. You need to relax. It's good.
It is good. I was going to say, didn't you feel more rested, but you woke up feeling such a start that you probably didn't.
Now I do. Right
Okay.
now I feel like I got rest. But in that moment, there was the panic.
There's a panic, yeah.
For me tonight, it's just like, I've been battling a migraine all week, and some of that tension that I've been carried in my head and in my cheeks and through my neck through here, it's just dropped. It's melted away, and for a year or longer, I've been having a hard time getting into my higher heart chakra up to the throat and then up in the third crown, and I'm feeling energy flowing in a different way that I'm used to feeling it. So it was I feel a little bit high. You know, I do. So if I'm making less sense than usual, I apologize. I don't know how to describe it because there's nothing. Sometimes I can feel the energy moving, but this is like a moving outwards.
Yes. Yes.
And it's a different kind of sensation, but it's a very relaxed and peaceful. Just, I mean, that's
good.
all. Yeah, it's just, I just want to say,
That's what you want, is that opening. That's what you want. Good.
That's what I'm feeling too.
Mhm.
I feel more space in my hips, and my shoulders are being released more.
Nice. Yeah, good. Space is good.
I feel the same. It's all blissed out here.
Nice.
Yeah. Just really sinking into the ground, and it was like I was getting this message saying, like from the earth saying, just give it all to me.
Nice.
All what you got, I'll take it off you.
Nice.
Really warm, beautiful, loving kind of energy, and it's just bliss.
Nice.
So, yeah, yoga high, meditation high.
Nice.
For me, I was very tense tonight. I've been having a lot of pain in my back lately,
Mm-hmm.
and in my shoulders, and I felt the tension even when we were sitting and you were talking. And when I lay down, all that I could think about was that pain and that tension in my back
Yeah.
at first. And as we were working on the toes and the ankles, and it just started releasing in a way that it hasn't before. And I did a couple of classes before we did the practice, and it kind of fix it a little bit, but as I was sitting down, it just started, I don't know, just tensing up again for some reason. And I mean, I don't know if it's just tension from the holidays or what it is, but I always carry everything in my shoulders and in my upper back where it hurts. So I notice it more as I'm stressed out or more as the days go on. But today, like when I was lying down, it just started releasing at first just a little bit, and then all of a sudden I just felt it all release and just go right into the ground. And it was, now I feel so relaxed. It's not even an issue right now, but I did notice that it did release really well today. I'm gonna try to do this meditation every day this week.
Good.
Just relax and to find, not to stress out, to be more relaxed during the holidays. And I'm more relaxed this year than I've ever been before. And I think it's all due to this meditation, to tell you the truth. My husband even commented on the other day. I mean, he's like, you're not going crazy. I mean, my inner perfectionist is always, I have to have everything perfect. Dinner has to be perfect. All the gifts have to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect. And this year, it's like I'm letting that go a little bit, and that's good.
And everybody else is happier too.
Yeah, everybody around me is happier. My husband's like, oh, I can't believe that you're so relaxed and so happy this year compared to other years. And I'm like, well, see, you have to think, Melissa, instead of complaining that I'm doing too much yoga, you have to thank her that I'm doing so much yoga.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 And this is what they want, is you happy, really. Not everything perfect, right?
No, it's me who wants everything perfect, and my inner critic that wants everything
perfect. Right. Yeah, not even you really wants everything perfect.
No, not really. It's just, it's more peaceful and more relaxing to have everything maybe not so perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm letting a lot of things go this year. It's good.
I'm happy to hear that for you and also Nicole too.
Yeah.
One thing that's coming up for me, and I didn't want to let myself off the hook when I was giving my little teaching talk at the beginning. I wanted to kind of take ownership of the anxiety. But I think that it can't be kind of, I think it's part of what happens at this time of year is the anxiety, the energy of the collective conscious at this time of year. Oh. It's like up here, right? Yeah. And we feel that too. So when I say I just can't get over the amount of tension I'm feeling right now, I think part of that is the energy of the collective conscious right now, leading up to these days of this one day of the year, like for Christ, right? No
like
pun
it's not
intended.
Perfect. It's not
perfect. And so we've talked before in these meditations about our personal body and our interpersonal bodies and the earth body. And to know that when we do this practice, we are affecting the interpersonal body. So when Maria, you set the intention to do this practice every day this week, that we are having an effect on the interpersonal body. We're affecting that collective conscious. So by all of us doing this practice today, we're taking, at some level, I think we're affecting that collective conscious. So we're not just doing it for ourselves, right? We're doing it for our interpersonal relationships, and we're coming into right relationship with the earth as well. Right? I mean, and I think part of, not needing everything to be perfect, not needing to consume our way to Christmas, that's also part of establishing right relationship with the earth. And the more you do this practice, the more you have that energy exchange with the earth, the more these things are going to shift and change for you. Yeah.
Really true.
Yeah. And so if over the next week or so, you start to feel things coming up for you that haven't been for a while, that it's not just you, right? It's the interpersonal bodies too, right? Yeah. Does that resonate with anybody else?
I think, yeah.
The interpersonal bodies.
interpersonal body, because we're connected, right? So you're not just alone in this world. So you're feeling the energy of other people around you.
Oh, yes.
Other people are tense right now.
Yeah.
It's not,
Yeah.
even though you might not be overly tense about the holiday season, you're feeling the tension of other people around you.
Yeah.
You know, as Trini and I went downtown to get her dad a Christmas present this weekend, you know, you can kind of feel that frenetic energy, or just people rushing around, and
Yeah.
you know, you pick up on it.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, if you want
Yeah.
to
Me too.
have a road test of it, just go to a mall right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. You go shopping and all you see is everybody going crazy, and you feel that around you. I can't be near that anymore. I went shopping the other day with my daughter, and I came home and just like, oh, I'm gonna put that aside. I can't even. You just feel it in the air of everybody going crazy and panicking, and you can feel it. You really can.
Yep.
I guess that's where I'm lucky living where I do, is that I live in a tourist town, basically. So now we're starting to see a lot more people come in, but they're on holidays. So they're in holiday mode.
Mm.
So it's a busy energy. And if you go up to the shops, it's a bit hectic. But when you go out into the community, like to the cafes, or you just go to the beach or whatever, it's a busy energy, but it's also very happy, and everyone's on summer holidays. That's what it is. So yeah, we're lucky.
Balance,
Tap
yeah.
into that. Yeah.
And I suppose it's up to us whether we allow ourselves to absorb it or to leave it. And sometimes I feel like I absorb it more, and sometimes I'm able to, you know.
Well, I think this is where practice becomes important too, right? That we are strengthened and bolstered by our practice, and also then it circles right back to that perfectionism, right? Like if we hold ourselves to that standard that I'm never going to be affected by other people's energy, well, that's just unrealistic, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it is going to affect us. Sometimes we'll be stronger. Sometimes we'll be more tired, right? Sometimes maybe we're not sleeping well, or whatever. Or you know, sometimes you're stuck in traffic, and it's just you're all in it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and don't let that be like another ridiculous standard to hold yourself to.
Right. You guys won't have control of it all the time.
You don't have control of it.
I was doing the 10-minute to 15-minute sequence about it was a morning sequence under the morning section in the short yoga videos, and it was where we were tapping right here and here and here, and then you start from your pelvis and you just zip it right up, and then you push into your belly button, and that one to protect our energies. I enjoy it.
It's a good one. It's in the morning sequences.
Yeah.
I interviewed Karen McGuire today, and she said she does that one every day. That zip up is supposed to be really good for your energy. And there's also grounding and shielding meditation in the 5-minute section too, which is good too.
I do that one when I have to go out and be with people. I do the grounding and shielding one. It's I let the good stuff in, and any crap just gets off the shield, basically. Yeah.
And this meditation, you're letting go of a lot of that stuff. You know,
Yeah. Definitely.
Any of it that you've taken on unintentionally. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for your time, everybody. I will be here next week. It will be Boxing Day, but I'll be here. So anybody who wants to practice, you are welcome to join me.
Thank you.
Okay.
You will.
Have a very good Christmas, everybody.
You too. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I will see you on the forum. Bye.
Bye.